Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Anya and in today's video I will be emptying out this drawer, which was my February and also March of my stash. I have loved the drawer, I have loved the products in it. I've used almost every single one, but I am going to take out a large portion of what's in here, even the things that I have not used, because I have a vision for April and it's gonna be very spring pastel and I'm looking forward to it. But there are some things in here that need to go for me to be able to realise that. So let's just handle it. I'm going to keep the CoverFX primer, the Becca Corrector, the NYX foundation mixer, Tarte Shape Tape, my colour corrector. I'm also keeping the Fenty primer, the Mekka setting spray and the Smashbox primer, but I am putting back the BH liquid foundation. I really like it. I am currently working on the stuff in my project pan, and having this here, it kind of distracts from it, and I'm very focused at the moment of trying to finish the stuff in the project because I do like it. I'm putting both of the Supershock shadows back. These are Chromoscope and DGAF. I didn't use them, but I do like them, so they're going to go back in my stash. My No7 Bronzer I really like, and it's going to stay in here. It's a really good colour match for me, but this usually lives on my tray that I keep in my bed, and I use it as a mirror for when I'm reapplying any of the lip products and glosses for the most part that I'm panning. So it's going to stay in here, but I'm going to take it officially out of the drawer in a sense, because it usually lives on my little tray, and having it there I know where it is. So I'm going to just put that to the side to put that back. I'm going to put back the blushes and everything pretty much in here. The Wet n Wild blush in Mellow Wine is a really nice colour. It's a really pretty peach. These are two Colourpop highlighters. So I have the shade Silver Play, which is a white. I really like it. And then I have Ruffle My Feathers, which is a yellow. And I really like using this to top up blushes that are matte. So I've used this on top of the Wet n Wild blush and really like how that looks. The two H&M blushes in here I'm also putting back. I have Tawny Peach, which is a very brown peach colour, so it's a hybrid between a blush and a bronzer for me, and I do really like it. And then I have the shade Coral, which is very similar to something that is going to come in, but I want to put this back because I want to use and try that because it's not something I've used before. This Mekka powder in Halo Me, it's a highlighter, but I use it as a powder because it does nothing for me as a highlighter. I'm going to put it back. I am probably panning this at some point, but I'm currently working on the powder in my project. And I was planning on moving this in afterwards, but it's taken me a little bit longer and this is too light for me during the summer. So I have a different powder that I'm going to try and pan first. So I'm going to put this one back for now. I'm keeping my powder foundation and I'm putting back the How We Do palette from Mekka. This is a highlighter palette. I love it. I love how this makes my skin look. This little bunch of palettes here. So I have this one, which is a Colourpop palette that I keep my singles in, and I have 12 in here at the moment. I've used almost all of them. They did exactly the job I wanted them to. They were accompanying shadows to looks that I did with the other palettes. I'm going to put, I think, almost all of these colours back. I am building a palette for April, and you will see that in a second. I'm unsure because I've not built it yet, but some of these may still hang over. This is the Back to Basic Chilled Tones by Mekka. It's a cool tone neutral palette. I used a decent amount of these shades. I really like them. I don't gravitate all that much towards cool toned eyeshadows. I prefer a warmer tone, but I like having this and it gives me a really pretty simple neutral look. At Forest Sight, Colourpop and Rosy Christie. I love this palette so much. This has shot its way high up on my list of favourite eyeshadow palettes in my collection, and I love it. I was not thinking of buying this at first because I have a lot of these colours already and some of the colours weren't even for me. I think I said that when I did the first impression look with this palette. I did also a mini review because I couldn't help myself, but I love it. I like the colours, the formulation is awesome, they blend beautifully and I love them. This is the Linda Harbaugh Spectral palette. I was considering keeping this in because there are, I think, two shades in here that I have not yet used, and they are these two at the bottom here, Phantom and Unknown. But I have similar shades in the palette that's coming in and I can put this back, and if I want to use those shades at some point I can bring it back later. This is a palette that I have sort of mixed feelings about. I love Phantom, Eerie, Faint, Illusion, Abstract and Dim, but Unknown is not a colour that I reach for, and Occult does not show up on me. It is super dusty and I wish it was really, really pretty, but it just does not work on me. This little lipstick holder in the back here, I'm going to keep in here. I'm going to keep all of the lipsticks in here. I'm panning all of them, sort of, just very slowly and not all at once. This lip gloss, which is a limited edition, I think it was in the advent calendar a couple of years ago from NYX, in Glazy Days. I love this colour. It's a product I would consider repurchasing once I have used up some of my current glosses, but this usually, along with the No7 Bronzer, lives on my desk or on my tray table, and I use it all the time pretty much. So I'm going to have it there. I'm going to finish that one soon. In here, both of these glitter eye toppers are staying. So I have the Stila Glitter and Glow highlighter in Painted Lady. I use it as an eyeshadow. And then a Makeup Mekka eye top coat in New Star. Both of these are drying out, so I'm sort of rushing with them and trying to use up as much of them as I can before they become unusable. And they're going to be in here until I either finish them or they become too dry to use. Now this little thing here is full of products, and a decent amount of these are actually going to stay in here. So I'm going to keep the Clinique Chubby Stick Intense. This is in Mightiest Maraschino. It's a red. I'm also keeping the lipstick in Taurus in here. It is not perhaps the kind of colour that I would associate with spring, but I wear a very similar makeup look all year round, so I'm going to keep that in here to have that as an option. My Tarte Lights Camera Splashes mascara is staying, so is the Colourpop Brow Boss Gel. I am keeping my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in here as well, and then the Iron Lip Liners. I think all of the lip liners are staying, so I have two of the red ones from Makeup Mekka. The shades are 9 and 10. I have the shade number 2 as well, which is a nude on me. I have this lip liner from Barry Am in Crush, and I really like it. It's a really pretty purple. And then I have this one, which is a clear lip liner, which I'm also keeping in here. Mr. Bing from Colourpop is staying, so is Punch, which is a really beautiful yellow. The Linda Harbaugh Mood Crayon in Likeable is staying, and that's an orange. Cool is also staying, that's a blue. The Makeup Mekka white eye pencil is also staying. So I have the No7 Stay Perfect eye pencil in black. That's going to go back. It is really great. I also have the Makeup Mekka Waterproof Smooth Eyeliner Pens. I have a blue shade as well as a green. They are also going back. And it still looks like there's a lot of product in this drawer, but a lot of these are sort of basics that I keep in here at all times. But I'm going to go grab all of the stuff I want to use for April, and I will show you them now. So I just picked through my collection, picked up all of the little bits that I wanted. It's going to be a bit messy before I can get everything in here and organised, so stick with me. I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palettes because they are what is closest to me. I have the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in the Brights colour, and I've had this for a couple of years, and this is my rainbow palette. I really want to play with this month, mainly for the colours that I don't reach into very often. So the blue rose, some of the pinks, the purples, the peaches. I use the yellows quite frequently, and I've also dipped into the greens this year and loved it, but I wanted to have a bit of a play with some of the colours in here. I'm also bringing in Colourpop Aha Honey, which is one of my favourite palettes. I love yellow eyeshadow, so I'm definitely going to be playing a lot with that this month. My other palette, which is new to me, I have not actually dipped into this yet. This is Kaleidos Club Nebula, which was a collaboration between Kaleidos and Angelica Nyqvist. It's absolutely gorgeous. I haven't actually dipped into any of the shadows, I haven't swatched them yet, but I really want to play with it. I'm not sure if I'm doing the colours justice because of the bad lighting in here, but it's really pretty. It's not really a colour story I go towards that much. The peaches at the bottom, I don't reach for peach on my eyes. I'm learning and dipping into those now, and I've been enjoying it. And then there's the cool tones, the blues, and I'm really excited to play with like the first 3 shades. So Firefly, 7 of 9, and Gravity. And then I have my palette of singles, which has a variety of brands and formulations and colours. I mainly wanted pastels, I wanted peaches, purples, pinks, and green, like turquoise minty colours, and I'm excited to play around with it. The names of all of the colours will be in the description box from the top left going down. So the first 3, then the second, I think that's Rose. I get Rose and columns mixed up all the time, and then going that way, it was just the easiest way to write them down. I think I'm going to need to have that line down, and I'm just going to pop my other palettes on top for now. I now have this basket full of things. There's a lot of things going into this drawer this month. I guess I could start with this. This is my other eye top coat from Makeup Mekka. It's a pink with a lot of different coloured glitters. I think it's going to play well with the shadows I've chosen. I don't have a lot of lip products, probably too many, especially when I'm trying to use these up. I probably won't get to all of them, I rarely do, but I have picked out some. These are all of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams I picked. I have Milan, which is a pink. I have Prague, which is a bright pink. San Diego, which is a peach. Cannes, which is like a neutral rosy brown. Athens, which is a light peachy nude. And Harbaugh, which is a little bit lighter than Athens. They're gonna work well together, I hope. I have the Maybelline Gigi Hadid lipstick in Austin, which is a very, very pretty, very bright orange. I have a mini NYX lipstick. This is in the shade Sorbet, and it's like a bluish grey colour. I haven't used it, so I think it's going to be fun just to play around with. And then I have my Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Pillow Talk. Mine is broken, so I'm going to try and not make it fall out of the tube, but it's a pinky nude. Additional lip liners is Makeup Mekka No7, which is a mid-tone pink, and then I have the Austin lip liner from Maybelline in the Gigi Hadid collab. I have the Disney Villains Colourpop Cruella Supershock highlighter, which is a white base with a very pretty peachy shift. I can't show it off enough to do it justice, but I want to play with that. I have this Body Shop highlighter from a Leona Lewis collection or collaboration many years ago, so this might not be good. I'm gonna essentially give it a last test to see if this is something I can still use, or if I should just put it away as a sentimental piece. I have two Becca highlighters here. I'm a little bit sad about Becca not existing after, I think it's September this year. I'm gonna be a little bit bummed, but the highlighters are big and they last me forever. I have not actually pan on any of them. I have a Vanilla Quartz, which is a very light gold colour. Very nice on fair skin. And then I have Berlin Girl Glow, which is my favourite highlighter of all time. I absolutely love it. It's the perfect non-detectable highlighter on me. It just blends really nicely into my skin and just looks like glow. My blushes are these ones. So I have two of the Makeup Mekka Mineral Matte blushes. I have Hush Pink, which is a kind of like a bubblegum light pink. And then I have Happy, which is more of a brownish peach. Then these two are new to me. I picked them up in March. I have the Makeup Mekka Touch blush, and I think it's Heartbreaker, it doesn't actually say, but it's a very, very pretty peach. And then this is their Strobe blush in the shade Rosy, which is a little bit of a darker peach with a lot of gold shimmer. This is meant to be like a highlighter blush in combination. I have two Fenty highlighter duos, and these are the colourful ones. So I have Sandcastle and Minted Mojito. I am going to bring them in as eyeshadows for the most part. I may actually also experiment with putting them on my face, but I mainly want to use them as eyeshadow, and this is 7-day weekend and poolside. I'm going to bring in my Fenty eye primer. I really like this both for an eyeshadow primer but also underneath my eyes as like a primer for concealer. I'm going to have to sort this bin out later. I have this CoverFX Custom Enhancer Drops. This is in Moonlight. I want to play with this month and mixing it into lip products for the most part, and also my cream blushes to see how they play together, if that works, because it's too dark to be a highlighter on me and it's too shiny to be applied all over the cheeks as a blush. I have the Linda Harbaugh Infinity Glass, which is a clear gloss. I want to play with that this month. The eye pencils I am adding in are my remainder Colourpop pencils. So I have Crybaby, which is a light purple, Teaspoon, which is like a turquoise teal green but kind of bright, and then Prance, which is a light sort of periwinkle blue. And then I have Calm Mood from Linda Harbaugh, which is a green. I'm adding this Rimmel contour palette in. This is in the shade Coral Glow. I love this. I've used it a lot. I like the bronzer and the highlighter, and I love the blush. So I want to play with that. And my last products are some Supershock shadows. So I have Birthday Treat, which was a free one when they were 5 years old, and it's a peach kind of colour. I haven't used it much, so I want to play with it. I have Semi Sweet, which was from their collaboration with Halo Top, which was an ice cream brand. It's a bright sort of, I don't know, lime green. And then I have 3 from the Disney Designer Collection. I have Under the Sea, which is a beautiful turquoise. I have A Whole New World, which is a light purple, and then Be Our Guest, which is a pink. I'm going to move this lipstick holder out of here. I'm going to replace it with this big blue bin, and I'm going to dump the contents of this little purple one, which is overflowing, into here and try to organise it to the best of my ability. So the drawer is a bit fuller than what I would like, and it's kind of messy. I may try and just play around with this for a couple of days and figure out how best to store everything so that I can see things. But I have what I want in here, but I'm excited to play around with this. I'm looking forward to creating some pastel looks and having some fun, and I may try and just do that right now. I'm not having the best week. It's been hell since Easter because I did too much and I'm in a flare, and I'm learning to take it easy and resting and everything, but I'm bad at it. I don't have the patience to not do things. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have used any of the too many products in the drawer, tell me what you think of them in the comment section below, and please subscribe if you like makeup content, and also occasionally vlogs and videos about disability, because that's what I do. I'm gonna let you go now. Thank you again. Bye!